games have started already.
The games have started. I have to switch into commentators mode, not to promoters mode. 4 knights, English opening with g3. Bishop b4 is almost the only reply nowadays.
Right? Well, or d5.
Okay, people play d5, but I've noticed that it's much more often they play bishop b4 nowadays. I mean, I don't know why, to be honest. Knight d5, bishop c5.
Yeah, I also don't understand why you keep on playing c4, e5, guys. I mean, just play c4, c5 and equalize it.
It's like so solid, yeah?
Exactly.
In a psychological way, I don't understand. You're entering the Sicilian where you don't have anything with white, and then with black you are entering it being a tempo down.
Yeah.
Right, essentially. I mean, when you play c4, e5, it is a Sicilian and you are tempo down. Why would you play it?
Basically, I understand perfectly if you play against a weaker opponent, then after c4 you don't want to play symmetrical, you try e5. But if you play against Magnus Carlsen, then I don't think that you really have to be afraid of playing symmetrical.
Okay, e3. I mean, I remember this is a very interesting position. I mean, with lot of
tricks,
lot of tricky ideas. It seems like, yeah, quiet, but it can explode any time.
Yeah, and Duda is taking his time. I'm not liking this, because if you enter this against Magnus, you better know exactly what you are doing.
Yeah,
like this, he will have difficult time.
There are some knight h4s, I remember. Like you go knight h4 and kind of never leave from here. A bishop b6 is the move, actually.
Oof, bishop b6. But this is already kind of agreeing that, okay, take my bishop. I just want to have a stable position. But you remember the game Magnus Carlsen won against Andrejki in the Rapids? In this anti-Berlin, when he also had the 2 bishops, and how slowly, step by step, converted it.
So he just took on, yeah, more or less.
He took on b6,
yeah, I mean,
with the same knight.
Not exactly the same structure, let's say, but essentially that's what happened. He took on b6, and it always looked black is solid,
and he takes it again.
And he takes it again.
And b3. No,
b3.
This I'm not liking for black. This is just one-way traffic, and Magnus in his element.
All right, bishop to f5. Well, the question is if you can manage controlling the light squares, because now, yeah, after d3, the question is if black can go e4.
Or knight b4.
Or knight b4. Well, knight b4 at least I can go e4 myself.
But then I go bishop g4. Then I claim that your 2 bishop is not anymore that effective. I have the d4 square.
Could be. Right, so knight b4 trying to provoke some weakness. As well, you're attacking a2 pawn. I just realized.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a double attack, so I'm not sure if you can play knight e1, but he goes queen d7.
Queen d7, intending to go bishop h3, maybe to swap one of the bishops. All right, knight h4. So bishop h3 does get rid of the bishop pair. But then white might consider f4. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but actually I think that white had the problem that he didn't want to exchange the bishops, but if he goes rook e1, then knight b4 would hurt him even more. Doing after bishop h3, I feel that all of a sudden, previously I was quite skeptical of black's position. Maybe the question is, should you include bishop g4 and then go bishop to h3?
But like, what's white's reaction?
Yeah,
after
but
bishop
in
g4,
Blitz you shouldn't be spending time for this.
That's what I don't like about what Duda is doing now. Look, I mean, he's already down to less than 1 minute. And obviously, since the bishops are getting exchanged, Carlsen does not mind to put the pawn on e4. So put the pawn on light squares as you have the dark square bishop.
Yeah.
That seems to be quite logical. And then he's preparing for f2, f4 play. That's what I think.
Yeah, knight d4.
And then we play bishop e3 and kind of asking...
Yeah, but I also want some b5. I want to break the structure. And if I'm going to go b6, b5, then strategically I might be better on the queen side.
But, you know, I have no business stopping it. Because I would like maybe to go a2, a4 now, but it doesn't really stop b5.
Exactly.
That's my problem. Bishop e3. Okay, now if say you're playing c5, then I'm very happy to go a4 actually.
And you stabilize.
It's only me who can open the position on the queen side then. Right, c5, a4, and then I can maybe one day prepare b4.
And also rook a2 somewhere to bring the rook
so
like
b5
this.
is the must, and that's it's like well played for Duda for that one. Magnus takes it.
You know, but those decisions surprises me and impress me very much by Magnus. Yeah, that such a move like c takes b5, which is by far not obvious and not natural,
right.
he plays it a tempo. It shows
And
very high class.
And you never know, just if he made a random move or he really knows those structures, because he proved us wrong on so many occasions, but that it just looks okay. That's position. There is nothing for him, let's say, for white, black, whatever color he plays.
Yeah, I mean, he feels, and queen f4, look at this, knight h6 is a threat.
Yeah.
If you go knight d7, I still have knight takes h6, queen g4, queen d7, so how to protect
d5?
d5?
Ah, well, d5.
e5, it's over.
Yeah, knight h7, I mean, kind of hold, not really. Because
I mean,
there is knight
pawn.
d7, knight takes on d5.
But also just d4 is hanging.
Queen g4.
It's
I mean,
over.
it's, you know, it's just a matter. Check. I mean, what's...
Just in 3-4 moves.
Yeah.
I mean, from
good
a
position for black, we said.
Seemingly nothing going on.
Good position for black, we said, Peter.
Incredible. What a judgment. C takes b5 and a tempo played. Really impressive.
Now let's see if Duda will, you know, will pull a comeback.
And Duda is down to 8 seconds. Down to his last seconds.
Okay.
No, it feels over.
No, I mean, it's really hard to imagine. Then now the knight gets the square on f5. Queen e6, though, is... Okay, not really annoying, but it attacks the e5 pawn, and you would prefer to go rook a to e1, but then your a2 is hanging, yes?
Yeah.
So rook f to e1 is somewhat awkward.
Maybe
then
king h3.
King h3, that's what I thought.
And
but
then some knight d6. But knight d6 is met by f5. One has to watch out for that trick.
Yeah, right. So looks like he achieved everything, but still not entirely comfortable. Rook e2 doubling the rook on e file. That makes sense.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So
Stability.
doubles the rooks. Rook a7, just in case, protecting f7 pawns and no tricks whatsoever. f3, protecting the queen this way, and then rook a8, a4. Still has to be completely winning. Duda is on 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Takes.
Yeah.
He doubles his pawns, but then he has protected passed pawn on h5, and also the f7 pawn is...
No, it's over.
It's lost, and then he simply resigned. Very impressive performance by Magnus.